Welcome to POSTCAST tonight. David Locke along with Ron Boone. The Utah Jazz have now won 4 of their last 7. They've won 5 of their last 9. And they've won 3 of their last 4. Or have we won 4 of our last 5? We won 3 of our last 4 on the road trip, didn't we?
Yeah, we won 2 of the last 3.
And 3 of the last 4. Miami, Orlando, lost in Charlotte, 1 in Memphis. So the Jazz have won 4 of their last 5. All right, so it's ugly. It was gross. It was disgusting. It was laughable. We broke up on the air, laughing at times about how horrendous it was. But I also might caution a little bit that maybe that's what these guys do to you. Maybe that's the reality of you get a final box. I didn't get a final box. You did get a final box. Okay.
Yes.
The reality of it. I mean, the Jazz shoot 36%, which is awful. They shoot 32%. But the key to this game is that in the fourth quarter, the game is a 3-point game, 69-66, and the Jazz do not allow another field goal for the final 5:51 of this game. You know, at some point, you have a bad night, you're not shooting well, you didn't hit the threes, you couldn't knock them out of the gym, you're in a slugfest. Now it's gotten ugly, so what do? You just D up for 5 minutes and 51 seconds, and you run away with a blowout win.
You find a way to win it and go home, and thank goodness that you were able to win it, because Philadelphia is a terrible basketball team. I don't understand what they're trying to do out there on the floor, especially on the offensive end. But aside from that, the Jazz survived, recovered, and stayed away from a little embarrassment, I thought, late in the fourth quarter. You know what? They ended up outscoring them 29-16, but I thought it was late in the fourth quarter that saved them here.
Oldest cliche in the book. You can't shoot well every night. Your defense will be with you every night, but your offense sometimes forgets to come to the gym.
Yes.
So tonight's the night where the Jazz offense forgot to come to the gym, and they executed the defense very well. At shoot-around today, one of the big things was that Covington could not get off for threes. He shot 2 3-point attempts in the first 3 quarters of the game. He ended up 2 of 6. He had 17 points, but he didn't get off game 3. That Michael Carter-Williams wanted to get back to his right hand all night. They didn't let him do it. He was awful.
Yes.
2 of 20. Tony Roten did his thing. Someone's got to score, but they defended really well. They held him to 5 of 26 from 3. They allowed him to shoot just 32%, which, hey, as bad as the Sixers are, they usually shoot 41%. They only shot 32%. They usually shoot 30% from 3. They only shot. So the Jazz D'd them up. They brought the one part of the game that you can bring every night. And frankly, on every effort and energy level tonight, numbers, the Jazz look good. Offensive rebound numbers are good. Steal numbers are good. Block shot numbers are good. Those are all the energy categories.
Yeah, and that's the way you have to win basketball games, as you just mentioned. And there's levels of play, David, that players know that they can get to. I don't know. You pick players or different players that you know you can play well against. Now, obviously, this is the first time the Jazz have faced Philadelphia. But after that first quarter, Derek Favors knew exactly what he could get away with and how well he could play against this team. Gordon, everyone knew on the offensive end. But it's just amazing how Philadelphia can make the game so ugly in the way they played it, and you fall right into what they're trying to do out there on the floor.
Is there anything to the whole holiday layoff that you're just out of sync?
Yeah and no. You know, if this was Cleveland in here tonight, you probably would have saw one of the better basketball games that you played. So I'd have to say no, David.
Derek Favors, in your bad, ugly game, your best players have to be better than their guys, right? By a lot, right? Like in a game like this. So you have 2 choices. You have Derek Favors or Gordon Hayward tonight, who can be better than anyone else. And I don't have Favors' final line. You have it. But it is mammoth tonight. Derek Favors finishes with 17 points, 15 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, and 5 block shots.
Yeah, he played.
That's a mammoth night.
34 minutes of play, and that is huge. And like I said, I guarantee you from the beginning of the basketball game, Derek Favors knew exactly, okay, I'm stronger than this guy. I can get my shot off doing this. I can out rebounding. I could even outrun him up and down the floor. I mean, that measuring stick I thought came very early for him.
Little victories tonight. One thing I thought I saw tonight that I haven't seen in a while was I thought I saw Quinn be able to play around with his 4 bigs to match what he wanted. So Trevor Booker got a bunch of time tonight in 20 minutes and played really well, because that's what they needed when they're playing McDaniels at the 4 and they're doing other things. You needed Booker. I think we're now going to see out of that road trip on other nights when someone stays big all night, Maybe Trevor only plays 8-9 minutes where Gobert plays a bunch. But I think that's a little victory step for this roster that Quinn's now kind of figuring, okay, I can do this and I can do that. And these guys are now performing well enough he can use all of them.
It's amazing how we just didn't look at it that way during the course of the basketball game and what Quinn was actually doing out there. We knew he made a lot of substitutions, and maybe this was one of those games where he thought that he could experiment and still get away with and win the basketball game. Maybe he did treat this as a throwaway game, as I just mentioned. And maybe if you go to practice tomorrow, we won't see anything about what happened in this game tonight. I mean, there are some coaches that would not even entertain the thought of watching a film of this caliber.
All right, let's go to the questions. Ryan Dangerfield comes in with a question tonight. Rodney Hood's a rookie. I realize he may be struggling to adjust the NBA game. Do you think there's more to Hood's struggles than being a rookie?
To be honest with you, no. I mean, he's a rookie that there's a tremendous upside to his game, and yeah, I don't know. That's a tough question. I'm
going to agree and disagree with you.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's been riddled with some injuries. The plantar fasciitis.
Which means he's behind now.
And he's just off kilter because of that, right? And so maybe the plantar fasciitis is still bothering him. I don't know that, but he just doesn't seem right now. Okay. With that said, he's taken over 100 shots. He's made 30 of them, which means he's now shooting below 30%.
Yes.
If he closes the year shooting below 30%, that's a problem. There are not many guys who've shot below 30%. Frankly, there aren't many guys who've shot below 35% in their first year in the NBA that turn it around. That now you're asking for an outlier case. So at some point this year, he's got to – now, right, we've only played 30 games.
Yeah.
So he's got another 50 games. He's got another 200, 250 shots he's going to take this year if he can stay healthy. Somewhere along the line, he's got to find a rhythm. So to answer your question is, no, not now. But I would say that you put a little bit of that's a little unnerving, and see what happens over time when he gets healthy, he gets his body right, and some of those things. It's going to be tough. He's going to hit a rookie wall. There's a bunch of things working against him. But yes, you got to shoot better than 29%.
Okay, now I'll add to that. I'm not going to disagree with you at all, and true enough, he is behind because of the plantar fasciitis. Can you imagine as many shots that his teammates have been able to get up, during the course of the year, and they'll shoot a lot more. But like Trey, he's got to get layups. He has to get into the paint and get those little easier shots and stop relying so much on the three. We know he can shoot the three. He has the range to shoot the three. How accurate is he going to be shooting the three? We'll know by the end of the year. But he's got to move those shots around a little bit. Get in that 15-foot range. Get to the basket and get to the free throw line. Just change it up a little bit, and that percentage goes up.
Great point. League average from three is what, about 35, 36%?
Yeah, 35.
League average from mid-range 2 is 37%. So if you're not getting some of the league average 70 or 80%, you're not going to be a good shooter.
Yeah.
It's great point by Ron. And I think both Trey have to. All right, let's go to Adam Davis. Adam Davis, more impact tonight, coming off the break or Philly mucking up the game?
Just mucking it up. I was dying up here. Yeah, just mucking it up. You kidding me?
It was mucked up.
Yeah.
We'll end it at that. Jazz win it, going away. They do not allow a field goal for the final 5:51 of the game, and they close tonight. It was 69-66. So the Jazz close it on a 19-5 run in the final minutes of this ball game. That's how you win it. Going away, and the Jazz have won 4 of 5. Have a good night. Be safe.